It's time for America Outdoors Radio, the show that covers the outdoor scene across the U.S. of A. and the entire continent. Fishing, hunting, conservation, outdoor recreation, and great destinations. We cover it all every week. It's your country, your outdoors. Let's explore it together with your host, John Cruz.
We've been on the road to what may be one of my new favorite places in this United States of America, Choteau, Montana. It's a small town with a ranching and ag influence with some outdoors tourism and dinosaur fossil hunting thrown in for good measure. You see, a number of important fossil digs have taken place around here, and this town is located just a short distance from both Glacier National Park and the Bob Marshall Wilderness. As a matter of fact, we got to meet a couple of capable young women who take hikers into the Bob, as this wilderness is nicknamed. It's an easy hike, too, because you've got mules hauling your gear and guides taking you to the good places to sightsee and fish for trout. Oh, and they cook up some good grub for you, too. The ladies in question are Maggie Carr and Bardwell. They own Dropstone Outfitting, and we'll be talking to them during this broadcast. In case you're wondering what I was doing in central Montana, I was attending the annual conference of the Northwest Outdoor Writers Association. It's a group of men and women who are media professionals. Some of them are active, some of them are retired, and some are just getting their feet wet and learning about the business of sharing the outdoors through the print media, through photography, digital media, blogging, video, and audio broadcasting. And I just love going to these conferences to network, to learn new things, to meet new people, and of course, explore new country and engage in some new adventures. If you're interested in finding out more, contact me through our website at americaoutdoorsradio.com. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. In addition to us media pros and learning to be pros, there are several companies that support the Northwest Outdoor Writers Association as supporting members. And they were at the conference too with some interesting tales to share. We'll be talking to 3 of those supporting members today. The first one we'll chat with is Scott Brown with Ram Trucks. He's going to introduce you to a new 2019 truck that's going to make you drool with envy. Another guest we'll chat with is our old friend Mark Holyoak with the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. There's been quite a bit going on with this well-established conservation organization based in Missoula, Montana, and Mark will do his best to get us all caught up. We've got outdoors news for you, too. The person I think of as the Tom Brady of the bass fishing world has notched another Bassmaster Championship title, this time in Oklahoma. And if you're wondering what kind of hunting gear all your hunting friends are buying, we can tell you, because Southwick Associates has given us a list of the most popular hunting and shooting related gear purchased by consumers in 2017. And yes, we will share that with you. Finally, at the bottom of the hour, we'll get to talk to Ron Stallings. He's with TTI Blakemore. They're out of Alabama, and they produce a number of fishing-related items that work great. This includes the famous Roadrunner lure that catches crappie, bass, and more. They also make those red Diacchi bleeding bait hooks and a little something called Real Magic that seemingly does it all. Not only will Ron tell you about all of these products, but we're also going to give away $50 worth of Roadrunner lures you can use to catch everything from bluegill to crappie to bass to walleye to trout and even steelhead. Want to know how to enter for a chance to win? It's easy. Just go to our Facebook page. You'll find it at America Outdoors Radio. Your first step, like our page. That's right, like the page. Then go to the post where we've got the picture of all these lures we're giving away. On that post, simply tell us what state you're from and what you're going to catch with these lures if we give them to you. Another way to enter, if you don't do Facebook, is through our website at americaoutdoorsradio.com. Just go to the Contact Us page and again, let us know where you're from and what you're going to use these lures for. That's all there is to it. You do that, you're entered for a chance to win. Only one entry, please, and we are going to give away this lure package to one lucky person after our last broadcast on Sunday. Before you get on the internet to enter our little contest, though, why don't you settle in for a minute and learn about a brand new truck from Ram I bet you are going to want to park in your driveway. Next on America Outdoors Radio, we continue to broadcast from the Northwest Outdoor Writers Association Conference in Choteau, Montana, and a really nice truck just showed up. It's being driven by Scott Brown. He's with Ram Trucks, and the truck in question is the new Rebel. It's an off-road edition by Ram Trucks. Scott, this is a thing of beauty, and it's brand new 2019, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Detroit Auto Show earlier this year in January, we launched the new trucks. This has happened. The Rebel is our off-road truck, but brand new lineup of Ram 1500s. From a Tradesman, which is more of the work truck, the Laramie, it's the volume truck, Bighorns, Limiteds, Longhorns. All new. Everything's new on them.
Well, let's work our way through this, and we'll start off with the look, because it's a very different look than what I'm used to seeing from your traditional Ram trucks.
Yeah, well, the Rebel, a couple years ago, I think in 14, we started with a unique look with the Rebel. That was received really well. That migrated to the Power Wagon. That look kind of carries over for the new Rebel, but on the other trucks, the Laramie and the Limited, the cross-haired grille is gone. Much more modern, much more updated. I'd like to think it's a stronger but yet more elegant look. And so, yeah, all new look, all new design exterior for the Rams.
Let's talk about the basics in terms of towing capacity and payload.
So start with the structure. Those have improved, 15 to 20%. You got to start with better bones, right? So frame, 98% high-strength steel. The frame is lighter and it's yet stronger. Bigger brakes. It's enabled us to bump that tow rating up to 12,700 pounds, payload up to 2,300 pounds. But because the bones and the structure are stronger, we're able to bump those capabilities up.
We've got the engine running, really quiet, love that, V8 engine. The gas mileage, not too bad on the highway.
Yeah, no, this truck is rated, this is the Hemi, the 4x4, I believe it's 21 or 22 miles per gallon. We've got some other things coming out later this year, e-Torque, which is a mild hybrid, kind of a next-generation start-stop. Basically, you get, the alternator gets put away, you get an electric motor. On the Hemi, it's 130 pound-feet of torque extra. On the V6, and it'll be standard on the V6, with the 8-speed, this e-Torque system gives you about 90 pound-feet of torque. Helps, again, when you're deaccelerating, the engine will shut down. You get some regen, but when you start, that torque's in immediately because electrics can kick in immediate, so it helps you get going when gas motors are least efficient. You can get this truck also with the EcoDiesel, and so that truck gets up to 27 miles per gallon on the highway with the EcoDiesel. So between the e-Torque system, which is a mild hybrid with that electric assist, either a V6 with the 8-speed or the Hemi with the 8-speed or e-Torque, efficiencies have really improved with this truck.
I think we're saving the best for last here. The interior, I feel like I'm in a luxury car.
And this is the mid-level, right? If we were to have the luxury model, like a Longhorn or the Limited, you can get now a 12-inch screen. Our Uconnect infotainment system is considered one of the best, easiest to use, most robust. Now add that in with a 12-inch screen, the customization, the things that you can do with that screen, the presentation is just amazing. But a huge amount of effort on our interiors, whether it's materials, the center console that slides is configurable. USB ports. It used to be you measured the flexibility of an interior by cup holders.
Oh, yes.
Now it's USB ports, and I believe there's 7 USB ports in this vehicle. Everybody's got a gadget that needs to be charged or synced with the car. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto is now available and standard with the Uconnect 8.4 or the big screen. So a ton of technology, whether it's for the engines or whether it's for the interior or whether it's safety, the blind spot monitoring, forward collision mitigation, all of that stuff is available.
One other thing we've got to talk about here, I'm amazed by the legroom in the back of this truck. I've never seen so much legroom in a truck.
So this is our crew cab. We've got a quad cab and we've got a crew cab. The quad cab is a little bit smaller, but yeah, we've added, I think it's about 4 inches to the cab of this truck. Flat floor, that's even something that's more impressive, is now you've got a flat floor for loading. For dogs, it's great. You've got storage underneath the seats. So the back seat, it used to be the back seats were kind of a penalty box. They're not. They're not.
That's a great way to put it.
It's not a penalty box. And look at we've got this huge, the huge sunroof. So yeah, the interior where you guys spend most of your time, huge amounts of efforts to just improve the experience on the inside of the trucks.
It's the Rebel. It is the off-road edition for Ram trucks. Look for it at your local Ram Truck dealer, or go to ramtrucks.com, ramtrucks.com. You can check it out there. Head to the dealership. They are just showing up on the lots now. 2019 model. You are going to love this. Scott, thanks for sharing this with us today on America Outdoors Radio.
Thank you.
Why book at Sportsman's Cove Lodge?
Why is Alaska like no other place on Earth? It hasn't changed in thousands of years.
From the way you get here on a float plane to the way you go out with the guides and the boats, it's just a professional experience.
And I said, this is as good as it gets. I said, if you can't catch fish here, you can't catch fish anywhere.
Your experience with us will leave you speechless.
Book now at alaskasbestlodge.com.
If you consider yourself a hardcore fisherman who takes pride in being the first person on the water and the last one off, Fish Fighter products are designed and built for you right here in the USA. Fish Fighter products are used by the top fishing guides in the Northwest because they know having the right equipment is imperative to a successful fishing trip. With our Relentless Series tackle trays, rocket launcher rod racks, and breakaway river anchors, Fish Fighter products makes the gear you can count on. Find out more at fishfighterproducts.com.
There's a place where the fishing is year-round, where the sun shines 300 days a year. The wineries and breweries are right downtown. The hiking and cycling offer spectacular views you just don't get in the big cities. Fortunately, the place is real and vibrant. It's the Dalles, Oregon, just 90 short minutes from Portland, along the gorgeous Columbia River, where the adventures are limited only by your imagination. Find out more at explorethedalles.com.
Next up on America Outdoors Radio, we're broadcasting from the Northwest Outdoor Writers Association Conference in Choteau, Montana. And I want to introduce you to two very unique women. Their names are Eve Bardwell and Maggie Carr, and they own Dropstone Outfitting. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us. Good to be here.
I want to talk about a few things. Number one, let's talk about what you offer, basically stock-supported hiking trips into the Bob Marshall Wilderness. Tell our listeners a little bit more about this.
So we offer multi-day stock-supported hiking trips into the Bob Marshall Wilderness. The Bob is 1.5 million acres, so it's a huge wilderness complex. Our hikes involve a string of mules that packs all of your gear, and then you just hike with a light day pack. We provide food, we provide guiding services, we provide natural history, and we also help you put up your tent, and we're excellent companions on the trail.
Big question, Maggie, who does the cooking?
Eve.
All right. So, and this is important, because, it's a big deal. How many days, Eve, are people out with you on these trips? I'm guessing it varies.
I think this year 5's our shortest, 8 is our longest, and then we do have a backpacking that runs 10, but the food's a lot easier for that.
Okay. So, Eve, food is important. What's for dinner? What's for breakfast?
Breakfast is pretty standard wholesome fare. There's, oatmeal, steel cut oats. We do eggs and bacon and that sort of thing. And then there's a, sandwich lunch with lots of granola bars and snacks. And then dinner is typically peas and sausage and spaghetti. And we try to throw some vegetables in there and keep it healthy. Yeah.
Any meat?
Oh, yeah. Yep. We have a few vegetarians, but usually each dinner has meat in it.
Meat's important if you're hiking all day. At least that's my opinion. So let's talk about some of the things folks are going to see in the Bob Marshall Wilderness. Everyone tells me about the Chinese Wall. Tell our listeners about this must-see destination.
So the Chinese Wall is the flagship feature of the Bob Marshall Wilderness. It's about 13 miles long and 1,000 feet tall limestone escarpment. It is by far the most visited spot in the Bob, but for good reason. It's beautiful. I've never seen anything like it, and it's a fairly easy hike to get there. It's 2 days of about 10 miles, but it's not too steep. But there's also lots of other areas where there's a lot less people. There's the Scapegoat Wall. There's the Birch Creek area. There's the South Fork of the Flathead. You name it. Whatever you like to do in the outdoors, the Bob's got it.
One thing that people like to do in the outdoors, especially in the Bob Marshall Wilderness, is to bring a spinning rod or a fly rod and go fishing. And Eve, I understand you've got a little bit of insight about just how good the fishing is here.
It is good mountain fishing. It's classic mountain fishing. It's those sweet streams that you can wet wade, and just watch your fly go, and you catch fish. You're not going to catch honkers, but you're going to catch fish, all day long.
But you know what? Look, I mean, you're being modest here, because we're not talking 6-inch rainbows here. I mean, we're talking about some pretty decent-sized cutthroat, aren't we? Or are we talking about 6-inch rainbows here?
No, you're definitely going to catch some cutthroat and some nice fish. You'll catch like a 22-inch fish.
Well, that's a honker in my book when it comes to stream fishing in the mountains. So let's break this down a little bit. Are we talking about cutthroat trout? Are we talking about rainbow trout? Are we talking about both? And what is the average size? I've always heard it's more like in the 12 to 14-inch range out there.
Oh, definitely. Like I've caught a couple 22-inch fish, but yeah, typically they're going to run like 14, 16 inches and mostly cut. And there are those rainbow cut hybrids, but they're feisty.
Oh, absolutely they are. And you give me 14, 16-inch cutthroat rainbows or cut bows, I'll catch those all day long. So most of the people that come fishing with you, they're doing it on their own once they hike out there with you. Are they mainly using fly rods, or are they using spinning rods and casting spinners and spoons out there?
Well, I'd say it's strictly fly. I've not ever seen anybody with a spinner and you stick them back in the water right away and you're not really keeping what you catch.
And with your cooking, you don't really need to. So that's good to know, too. So I want to talk about something else here, because this is unique. I have never run across an outfitting service before that is run solely by women. And a mother with her 2 children that are here for the interview, too. This is really unique. How did you two come up with this? Maggie, I'll let you start off.
So we both live in Choteau, and we've lived here for a while. Choteau's a pretty small town. It's about 2,000 people, and we both worked outdoor jobs in our early 20s, and we're kind of looking for something else. We were looking for something to really dig our teeth into, and we both have experience with horses and with hiking, so we thought, this would be a really great service to offer. Little did we know that there was a company that existed in Choteau like that already, and they were getting older and were looking for people to buy the company. And so we were very fortunate to make their acquaintance. We worked with them for a couple years, and then they offered it to us in 2013.
Let's talk about your clientele, Eve, because you are 2 women running this business. Do you tend to attract more women that maybe would be intimidated going with a male who's in charge of a guide service?
We do tend to attract more women, and I'm absolutely sure it is, in part because we're female. But I think it's also because of the type of trip that we're offering. Like it's not your classic like dude wrangler setup. Like we're hiking. There's a lot of women who hike, and this is the first time that they've seen something like this, and I'm sure feeling more comfortable has something to do with that. But we do get guys, men. We get men.
We have guys that guide for us, too. We're not a purely women-operated business as well. Yeah.
I believe that. But I was going to ask that. Have you run across any resistance either in the guiding business or from male clients because you're 2 women running an outfitting business? You both strike me as fairly capable, so I'm hoping not.
I think because what we offer is a little bit different than your normal experience than Bob. We really haven't experienced much tension with other outfitters or guides because we do something that's different. And so I think they also, because we're both women, they think, they've got this hiking business. And they've been very supporting of us. And we also work with several of them. They give us business. We give them business. Our clients, I don't think we have a lot of male clients. And I've never run across anyone that we've had any problems with. In the very beginning, it was more a difference of people who had gone with the people who had owned it before us. There was maybe a year of getting used to us owning the business, but nothing that had to do with us being female and them male.
I'll tell you what, folks, having met both of you, I would have no hesitation about hiking into the Bob and going trout fishing for several days and eating some good food. It sounds like a great time to me. Eve, what's the website so folks can find out more about going hiking with you, going fishing with you, and experiencing perhaps Montana's greatest wilderness?
It is www.dropstoneoutfitting.com.
That's dropstoneoutfitting.com, just like it sounds, dropstoneoutfitting.com. Make plans to go on a pack-supported hiking trip into the Bob Marshall Wilderness. Bring your fly rod, get ready for some great trout fishing and some great hiking, some great scenery too. Ladies, thanks for sharing this with us today, and thanks for your kids for being here too on America Outdoors Radio.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
There's a place where the fishing is year-round, where the sun shines 300 days a year. The wineries and breweries are right downtown. The hiking and cycling offer spectacular views you just don't get in the big cities. Fortunately, the place is real and vibrant. It's the Dalles, Oregon, just 90 short minutes from Portland, along the gorgeous Columbia River, where the adventures are limited only by your imagination. Find out more at explorethedalles.com.
Why book at Sportsman's Cove Lodge?
Why is Alaska like no other place on Earth? It hasn't changed in thousands of years.
From the way you get here on a float plane to the way you go out with the guides and the boats, it's just a professional experience.
And I said, this is as good as it gets. I said, if you can't catch fish here, you can't catch fish anywhere.
Your experience with us will leave you speechless.
Book now at alaskasbestlodge.com.
If you consider yourself a hardcore fisherman who takes pride in being the first person on the water and the last one off, Fish Fighter products are designed and built for you right here in the USA. Fish Fighter products are used by the top fishing guides in the Northwest because they know having the right equipment is imperative to a successful fishing trip. With our Relentless Series tackle trays, rocket launcher rod wraps, and breakaway river anchors, Fish Fighter products makes the gear you can count on. Find out more at fishfighterproducts.com.
You're back with America Outdoors Radio. We continue to broadcast from the Northwest Outdoor Writers Association Conference in Choteau, Montana. And somebody came a long ways to be here. His name is Ron Stallings. He's with TTI Blakemore Fishing Group out of Alabama. Ron, great to see you again.
Hey, thanks for having me here, man. I appreciate it.
So, Ron, TTI Blakemore, I think that the best-known lure that you make, and it's been around a long, long time, is the Roadrunner. For those few people who don't have Roadrunners in their tackle box and are using these to catch crappie, why don't you describe exactly what they are?
Well, these are horsehead lures, what people call horsehead lures, but it's a configuration trademark on the design. And the unique factor on this is the blade up underneath the chin. Fish look up and they want to see pectoral fins and the whites of bellies, and the sound, flash, and vibration of the blade makes that happen for them.
You know, I've used Roadrunners for a long time, and I've caught smallmouth bass, I've caught largemouth bass, I've caught crappie, I've caught bluegill. But you really gave a good education today about how they work and why they work. And why don't you share that with our listeners?
Well, Roadrunners, you notice there's a lot of different styles and patterns, and a lot of it has to do with frequency levels that the fish pick up on their lateral line. So if you have plastic and it's not working, you go to hair. If hair's not working, you go to bucktail. When you're fishing with Roadrunners, the one thing that you have to remember is the slower the better. All you have to do is get that blade to turn. So once that blade's turning and it represents that flash up underneath the belly of a predator that is looking at its prey, looking for that flash or that white belly, the Roadrunner provides that. So those frequency levels that once you find them, it's very, very active, and the fish respond to it immediately.
You know, when I started fishing with these, literally decades ago, you know, they were curly tail grubs. It was like a little Indiana blade below the jig head, but now you've got them in all sorts of different sizes. You know, I'm holding one here that's like 1/16 of an ounce. It's actually got a willow leaf blade on it. Like you said, you now have bucktail, you've got marabou, all sorts of different things. You know, why does one work better than the other? I mean, can you use them all for the same species, or do you actually have bucktail and marabou for one species and curly tails or tubes for another?
Well, it's not necessarily this species specific, but we do have walleye colors for walleye roadrunners. We have bass colors for the Randy House Women Runner. So you have to choose and pick the colors along with the frequency level and the type of blades. And it's funny you mentioned the blade. The Indiana blade will sink slower. So if you're in kind of a swifter, quicker moving water, deeper water, you'd want to go with the willow leaf blade. Now the willow leaf blade has two different styles. We have two different colors, silver and gold. Some are smooth blades and some are hammered blades. The hammered blades are always faceted, and they pick up and retract more light away from it in different variances. So it puts another effect to the Roadrunner.
One Roadrunner that is new to me, at least, is your salmon steelhead Roadrunner. Is this brand new? And whether it is or not, tell our listeners more about that.
Well, the salmon steelhead runner is brand new from last year, from 2018 ICAST, and it has a real super heavy-duty stout hook on it. And what we've done with that is we've applied more marabou on there and made it thicker and heavier so it breathes a lot better, and the salmon and steelhead react to that.
Is this designed, this salmon steelhead Roadrunner, to be fished under a float? Very popular way to catch fish out west, whether it be salmon or steelhead, or is this a cast and retrieve?
It can actually be done both ways. One of the people that we've worked with actually takes our salmon steelhead runner and puts it underneath a popping cork float. And
interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. And he, depending on the depth and the thermocline that he's fishing in, he'll keep it at that same level and pop that cork. And it works very, very well. But 95% of the people cast and retrieve it.
You're listening to America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz. We're talking to Ron Stallings with TTI Blakemore Fishing Group. They make the world-famous Roadrunner lure. But wait, there's more. They also own Diacchi and bleeding bait hooks. And all of these hooks, these bleeding bait hooks, they're all red. Why is that?
Well, fish respond and interact with red because it shows a feeding signal. Plus, it also shows blood injury. And just like the weakest alpaca in a pack is going to be eaten by a lion, where the other ones can run away, so the weaker the better. So that is what bleeding bait hooks simulate, is blood injury, and it also stimulates the feeding response.
You know, I became a believer in this at an event called Fish Camp 14 years ago. I went fishing with a rep who sold these hooks, and we were both fishing crankbaits. And we were fishing shallow water for smallmouth bass. And he had red hooks on his. I did not on mine. He was out fishing me 4-1. And, you know, at first I thought, well, you're just a better fisherman than I am. Yeah. But then, of course, it's like, please, for the love of God, give me one of those with the red hooks on them. And he did. And I was catching just as many as he did. They really, really work.
Yeah, they hone in on that. If you're fishing a crankbait or any lure with multiple hooks on it, position that red hook where you want the fish to strike. If it's a 3-hook lure, put it in the center. If it's a 2-hook lure and you're fishing a tournament, put the bleeding bait treble in the front so you can retain him with the back hook as well. If you're doing catch release, go ahead and put the bleeding bait hook on the back. That will put less injury on the fish because they only have one hook in their mouth. So anytime you're fishing and you want to increase your strikes, whether it's dark water, clear water, tannic, or just green water, apply a bleeding bait hook to it. It's going to be a perfect response from the fish.
So, playing devil's advocate here. The color red, a lot of people will tell you, well, you know, the deeper you go, the less effective it is because it becomes invisible. Is that an issue with these hooks?
Absolutely not. If there's light in the water, the red will show up to the fish because the fish have different rods and cones in their eyes, and they pick up and perceive those colors. If there's no light penetration in the water, everything disappears. Now, years ago when red line came out, it's transparent. That will definitely disappear. But something that has solidity like hooks will retain its color, and the fish will hone in on it.
And the other thing that's important about these Diacchi hooks, you make them literally for just about any fishing application. I don't care if you're a walleye angler or a bass angler, or if you're drop shotting, or if you're going after sturgeon, if you're going after tuna. I mean, is there anything you don't make these hooks for, and any sizes you're not making yet?
Not that I know of. We're actually coming out with 16, 18, and 20-aught circle hooks for tuna and Goliath grouper this year. So we've got it from the smallest hooks you can get. We actually have
You've got egg hooks.
Yeah, we have salmon egg hooks in size 14, and we go all the way up to these new 20-aughts coming up.
Absolutely amazing. And folks, again, they are not a sponsor of this show, but they work. And I am a big believer in these bleeding bait hooks. If you're not using red hooks, give them a try. I think you're going to find out exactly what I mean. We've got about a minute left And this sounds right out of an infomercial, but Real Magic. Go ahead and give me your best pitch about Real Magic, what it was made for, and some of the other applications it can be used for.
Well, Real Magic is a thing that you can spray on your line and on your guides. It relaxes the line, it seals the line. Monofilament is porous and holds water, and when it holds water, it becomes heavier, and your casting distance is greatly shortened. So what this Real Magic does, it coats the line. It's kind of like Rain-X for a line. Prevents the line from getting weighted down from water, and it's applicable on fly line, Dacron, monofilament, fluorocarbon, fly line. You can use it just about on any line you got out there. Once you've got it on your line, you're going to notice an increase in your casting distance. Your line memory is going to be relaxed. Plus, you can use it on squeaky door hinges, and you can put it on the windshield of your boat so the water will fly off so you can see where you're going.
You can also put it on your headlights to keep some of those bugs off. You can use it on your compound bow to increase your shooting distance. You can go ahead and put it in the action of your gun so it works smoother. Jimmy Houston, of all people, thought of a lot of these things, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did. He had a squeaky bow, and he actually applied the Real Magic on the cam and took the squeak out, and he was able to walk right up on an elk and pop him one.
Well, we have got to go, but folks, TTI Blakemore, they make a lot of good stuff. Whether you're after some great fishing lures like the Roadrunner, whether you're after bleeding bait hooks made by Diacchi, or Real Magic, which works for all sorts of different applications, look for all these products in any quality sporting goods store near you. Ron, thanks for sharing this with us today. You're in Choteau, Montana on America Outdoors Radio.
Thank you, and have a great day.
Don't tell Ron, but we're giving away 12 lure packages that he gave me. Now, he thinks I'm going to be fishing with all these Roadrunner lures, but what he doesn't know is I already have a whole bunch myself. So this prize package worth $50 is up for grabs. One lucky listener is going to get it. Here's what you need to do. Go to our Facebook page. You'll find it at America Outdoors Radio. Just like our page, look for the post, and tell us what you would use your Roadrunner lures for and what state you fish in. Don't have Facebook? Don't worry. You can enter through our website too at AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com. Just go to the Contact Us page and let us know what kind of fishing you'll do with your Roadrunner lure and what state you fish in. We'll announce our winner after our last broadcast on Sunday.
If you consider yourself a hardcore fisherman who takes pride in being the first person on the water and the last one off, Fish Fighter products were designed for you. We make products for the relentless fishermen who know that big fish are caught by those who put in the work. With our Relentless Series tackle trays, rocket launcher rod racks, and breakaway river anchors, you'll spend more time chasing the fish, not your gear. Designed and built right here in the USA, Fish Fighter products won't let you down. Gear up at fishfighterproducts.com.
I'd like to welcome a new sponsor to our show. It's Sportsman's Cove Lodge, and many anglers who have been there will tell you it really is Alaska's best lodge. Sportsman's Cove Lodge sits on a salmon highway full of kings and silvers. There's halibut too, and there are some really big ones. Finally, with decades of experience taking care of customers, Sportsman's Cove Lodge knows how to treat you right from start to finish. Ready to book your trip of a lifetime? Then call Sportsman's Cove Lodge at 800-962-7889. That's 800-962-7889. 800-962-7889 for Sportsman's Cove Lodge.
Looking to reel in the marketing opportunity of a lifetime? Then set the hook, because we've got it right here. America Outdoors Radio has sponsorships available, and we offer an affordable platform to reach thousands of listeners interested in fishing, hunting, and the outdoors. Find out more by contacting host John Cruz through his website at AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com. That's AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com. But hurry, if you wait too long, this big opportunity might just get away. That's AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com.
There's a place where the fishing is year-round, where the sun shines 300 days a year. The wineries and breweries are right downtown. The hiking and cycling offer spectacular views you just don't get in the big cities. Fortunately, the place is real and vibrant. It's the Dalles, Oregon, just 90 short minutes from Portland, along the gorgeous Columbia River, where the adventures are limited only by your imagination. Find out more at explorethedalles.com.
Backcountry Hunters and Anglers, a nationwide group working to keep public lands in public hands so future generations can enjoy what we enjoy. Join the group that makes a difference. Check us out at backcountryhunters.org.
You're back with America Outdoors Radio. I'm John Cruz, and this portion of the show is brought to you every week by Fish Fighter Products. They're the innovative company based in Mountain Home, Idaho, and they make gadgets and gear for your fishing boat. Gadgets and gear designed to make your fishing day more efficient and easier so you can concentrate on catching fish and not messing around with stuff on your boat. Find out more about what they have to offer at their website, which you'll find at fishfighterproducts.com. One last reminder about that Roadrunner lure giveaway we're doing this week. We're giving away 12 packages of these classic lures worth over $50, and if you want a chance to win them, here's all you have to do. Go to our Facebook page. You'll find it at America Outdoors Radio. And the first thing you need to do is just like our page. Once you do that, go to the post where you'll see the pictures of all these lures and let us know what state you're from and what you're going to catch with these lures. That's all you have to do to be entered to win. If you don't do Facebook, don't worry. You can contact us through our website at AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com. Just go to the Contact Us page. Give us that same information. We will announce our winner after our last broadcast on Sunday night on our America Outdoors Radio Facebook page. Our thanks to TTI Blakemore for all this good loot we're giving away. We start off our outdoors news by telling you that he did it again. The man, the myth, the legend, KVD, Kevin Van Dam, has won another Bassmaster tournament. From Bassmaster, we can report Kevin Van Dam dominated the Bassmaster Elite Tournament last weekend at Grand Lake in Grove, Oklahoma, weighing in over 83 pounds of bass in 4 days, beating the second-place finisher by more than 5 pounds. The 50-year-old Van Dam will place an unprecedented 25th Bassmaster trophy on his mantle, a feat many believe may never be broken. This isn't Van Dam's first victory on this famous Oklahoma lake. He won an Elite Series event on Grand Lake back in 2007, but didn't catch quite as many bass, only weighing in 78 pounds on that tournament. When asked if retirement was in his future, Van Dam laughed and said, short answer, no. I'm having too much fun. Way to go, Kevin. Keep it up. You are an inspiration to all of us. In other news, have you ever wondered what the most popular brands of hunting products are? Thanks to Southwick Associates, we can tell you. They've come out with what was hot in 2017, according to the top brands purchased by you and me, the consumer. They include the top rifle ammunition brand, American Eagle, the top reflex red dot sight brand made by Vortex, the top brand of a scope mount for your rifle, Leupold, top bow brand, Bear, top arrow, Easton, top brand of Nox, Nocturnal, and the top archery target brand, Hurricane. The top backpack, waist, and duffel brand belongs to Badlands. The top decoy brand was Zinc/Avian X. The top trail camera brand came from Wild Game Innovations, and the top hunting knife brand came from Buck. Finally, the top holster and ammo belt brand was from Blackhawk. So, if you are the sort of hunter or shooter who makes decisions on what others like you are buying in the stores, now you know. And congrats to all of those brands for having a great 2017 and for coming out with what were clearly some very good products for us consumers. Next up on America Outdoors Radio, we're checking in with Mark Holyoak. He is with the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. And Mark, it's been a while since we chatted. Really just wanted to catch up. It's great to have you back on the show again.
It's good to be back. Thank you.
So, been a little bit busy already this year for the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. 2 events took place. There was Elk Camp in Phoenix, Arizona, and you were intimately involved with the World Elk Calling Championship, and that, I understand, was in a different location.
Yeah, that was down in Salt Lake City at the ISC Expo. Thought we'd just try to give it its own elevation a little bit, a little more outreach. And so it's an event that for years, as you know, has been hooked to Elk Camp, but we decided to break it away just for this year at least and give it some more attention. And it turned out well. We had the largest field ever that signed up for the event, over 100 different callers of all ages, really good turnout. We changed up the format a little bit. Before it was kind of like walk out on stage and do your best, and if you make it beyond the preliminaries, then you go to the finals and you have another opportunity. But given that it was March, we thought we'd go head-to-head, bracketed format like March Madness. And so some callers performed once and others performed up to 6 or 7 times, going head-to-head. And so it was really interesting, really different, nerve-wracking, some of the callers would say. And in the end, we had some new champions in new divisions, and then we had, I don't want to call him an old champion, but he's a very well-known name, in Corey Jacobson, who returned to the top of the heap. It was a great event. It was a fun event. We had really good turnout, and we're looking to make that event much bigger going forward in the future. And then down in Elk Camp, a good turnout down there, down in Arizona. Of course, at Elk Camp every year is our national convention. It's all about celebrating our volunteers and what they do and some of the projects that we're involved with, which is kind of a grand scope across the board. So yeah, it's been a busy year so far, but we're off to a good start.
There's a lot of conservation organizations out there, but I would say that the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, I think, leverages their volunteer base maybe better than any other conservation organization out there. You have a very passionate group of volunteers and a huge army of them, too. Your ranks just keep growing and growing as an organization.
We do. We have more than 11,000 volunteers. And to be honest, as an organization, we wouldn't function without them. I mean, they're the ones that are hosting banquets and membership drives. They're involved in other events. They're on the ground. You know, they're getting their knees dirty and involved with noxious weed projects and fence poles and planting seedlings and doing all kinds of things to help out elk country. So they're the ones that make things happen. I mean, we know that. It's been that way from the beginning, and going forward it will continue to be that way, and we just appreciate who they are and what they do.
Something else the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation is known for is their habitat work, and your organization has been doing that consistently but quietly this year. Several projects have been going on, kind of flying under the radar.
Yeah, they're not giant projects. We've had some in the past, conserved and opened 13,000 acres and those sorts of things, firmed up checkerboard ownership land. This year there's just lots of small pieces and chunks. But if you have a puzzle, all the pieces are important, and that's what's going on. We've had land projects in Wisconsin and Colorado, several in Montana, and looking ahead, we'll continue to have projects in other states, projects that permanently protect the habitat that's out there. Many of them, most of them at this point, have also opened up that land for public access as well, which of course is a benefit if you like to hunt or fish or hike or do whatever you do in the outdoors. And so we have our fingers in the pie all over the place. It's a big pie, and so we're just doing the best that we can in providing funding, not just for permanent land protection and public access work, but for habitat stewardship work as well. Because if, in our opinion, and it's shown to be true time and time again, if you're on the ground and you do things to help out elk, it helps out deer, it helps out bears, it helps out birds, it helps out fish, it helps all these other species as well, and so we look to keep that going.
One last thing we need to mention, longtime CEO David Allen, he hung up his spurs. He actually retired on you.
Yeah, he's moved on. We miss him. He's very busy and actually was very busy before, even on the side, doing some things there. He knows so many people and does so many things. And so we have an interim CEO right now, Nancy Holland, and she is not someone who just bides the time. When you have a job search and you're looking for a new head, it's something to look forward to. And so we're going to see how that plays out, and we're anxious to continue to move forward, as we will, because we have, over the years, when we've changed leadership at whatever level, we've continued to stand behind our mission and continue to carry that out. And that's what we'll do no matter what.
As you can hear, even though there's not been a lot in the news lately, there's a lot going on with the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. And if you want to find out more about joining this great group, go to their website. That's your first stop. It's rmef.org. That's rmef.org. Get involved with a local chapter, go to a local banquet, and become a volunteer. I think you'll get a lot out of it. Mark, always a pleasure to have you on America Outdoors Radio.
All right, thank you.
We've got to wrap things up, and remember, it's your last chance to enter our contest where we're giving away those Roadrunner lures from TTI Blakemore. Go to our Facebook page at America Outdoors Radio or contact us through our website at AmericaOutdoorsRadio.com for your chance to enter, because we'll give away this $50 package after our last broadcast on Sunday. If you're looking for other ways to listen to our show, you can catch us online Saturday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on TalkAmericaRadio.us. It's the new voice of conservative talk radio, and we are very proud to be part of their weekly lineup. If you want to hear us on the go, you can do that, or on demand through YouTube. Our channel is Northwestern Outdoors, that's one word, and through Podbean. Just subscribe to America Outdoors Radio. They say April showers bring May flowers, and that certainly brings better bass fishing, that's for sure, and other warm water fishing too. There's also spring turkey hunting still going on, and yes, there's some trout out there, some salmon out there, some fish in the saltwater catch, some trails to hike, and a whole lot more. I hope you are blessed in the week ahead, and I also hope that you get outside to enjoy some of these activities, because it is your country and your outdoors.